I have been really focused lately on the industrial Internet of Things and how data can really enable our end customers. So let's get right into the content here and start talking about, how are we going to connect technology and people to really give you some increased system reliability. So we know there's a ton of pressures you're feeling. 80% of businesses are really unable to estimate their downtime accurately, and that means you may be underestimating the cost by 200 to 300%. And what do you need for success? Well, you need visibility from anywhere now more than ever. You really want to quickly identify bottlenecks to productivity within the system. We hear our customers are in peak, and now they're having a peak of the peak as we head into the holiday season. You have to maintain equipment in shorter and shorter windows based on the production requirements. There's always cost pressure, so you need to reduce your spare parts inventory. You want to capture and transfer that detailed knowledge about the system, and it's hard to replace skilled labor, those experts that have been with the system since it started. And really, you want to move to become more predictable, and what we say is overcome unpredictability. So let's talk about the failure curve here, the maintenance failure curve. So here, this green line here at the top, that's when everything's great, the system's brand new, it's the baseline, everything's working as it should. And as you use the system and run the system over time, you start to go down this yellow line and eventually to the red. And you definitely want to stay out of the red. That's your downtime and frequent disruptions, we call it, where, if you're running to this in this area, you probably have not very accessible data. Again, you're running to failure, and the downtime is probably actually inhibiting your productivity. So if you move up into the yellow, you're going to have fewer disruptions. So you're going to be using data to get insights. Maintenance is part of your day-to-day operations. So you're probably doing some kind of preventative maintenance, and you are working to use some insights to drive that productivity. But to get as close as possible to the top of this curve here, to get near this green line, you're probably going to be looking at adding sensors and software analytics. So that's where you're going to be able to move into no disruption. So your data analytics are automated. You're probably venturing into predictive maintenance and optimizing your maintenance team and what they focus on. And you've probably almost eliminated your unplanned downtime. So we really believe that organizations, when they adopt this data-driven life cycle, they're positioned to win. In our current environment now, and definitely into the future, data is going to become more and more important. So who are these personas that need this? So let's talk about like a supply chain executive. So they're very focused on driving down their cost per case shipped. They need a way to compare the system uptime across their facilities. And they really want to know, how can I gain enough efficiency so I don't have to make that next big expense investment in equipment? And on the operations manager side, they're forced to deal with, ever increasing production targets. They need to eliminate bottlenecks and optimize the flow balance through the building. And how can they get visibility into real-time production to help them make, better decisions about their productivity? And then the maintenance manager is, trying to get all the planned maintenance done in shorter and shorter maintenance windows. How can they prioritize? And with the, a tight labor market as it is, and the difficulty to get on site, it's difficult to get that skill set there. So where can they go for technical help when they get into a bind? So, this kind of begs the question, what is your path to predictability? So we have a solution we call Connected Services, where we're working to automate that process from issue detection to resolution. And it's built of several pieces of technology. So we've got our connected asset system for monitoring asset health, our Iris asset management system for maintenance, which allows you to get some OEM expertise with detailed setup procedures and detailed maintenance procedures, as well as being able to track your spare parts and inventory and purchasing. Then you can move into the voice-directed preventative maintenance, which really drives greater efficiency. You're able to run through a checklist hands-free and eyes-free, which gives you, the ability to get more accurate data and to do it about 25% faster. And then the video-enabled issue resolution. So when you do get in a bind, how can you reach out quickly and help someone see the issue that you're having so it can be resolved? And why is this stuff important? Well, there's really a large value in predictive maintenance. So the Department of Energy did a study, and they were able to see a 25 to 30% reduction in their overall maintenance costs, a 70 to 75% elimination of equipment breakdown, so of downtime, and then a 35 to 40% decrease in downtime needed to do maintenance activities, all the while increasing productivity by 20 to 25%. And I have a video here I'd like to show you that illustrates what the solution looks like.
In connected infrastructures, DCs can now streamline the entire maintenance task lifecycle, from issue detection to response and resolution. Connected services from Honeywell Intelligrated are empowering this process with advanced diagnostics, voice automation, and augmented reality technology. Using vibration and electrical current sensors, the system detects excess current draw on the conveyor motor and triggers an alarm on a critical curve at the sortation loop. As the DC manager reviews the location and severity of the issue on the operational dashboard, a technician is notified via an automatically generated work order. The technician begins a voice-directed inspection of the belt tension and discovers an issue that's not covered by the standard repair procedure.
Alert, fault detected, excess current draw. Check belt tension. Ready. Needed tools, 19mm wrench and required PPE. Ready. Perform lockout tagout of equipment. When ready to continue, say ready. Ready. Tension bearing adjustment bolts at inside radius and locations of drive and tail pulleys so belt face at corners is flush. Ready. Remove lockout tagout. To continue, say ready. Ready. Perform operation check. Fail. Contact TechSite for further assistance.
TechSite smart glasses allow the technician to interact with the remote technical support expert and show them the specific problem at hand. The remote expert takes control of the motor through machine control and shows the technician how to fix the problem, even displaying schematic drawings and instructions on the technician's field of view. After addressing the issue, the technician can now resume voice-guided resolution of the belt tension checklist.
Issue resolved with TechSite. Pass.
Upon completion of this process, the technician confirms that the current draw on the motor has returned to normal levels, and the belt is now at the correct tension. Honeywell Intelligrated combines connected services to automate the entire issue detection, diagnosis, and resolution process.
Okay, so what kind of results can you see when you combine technologies like this? So we have a great customer success story. We've got a customer where we're monitoring 45 motors in the critical path of their sortation systems in the facility. And we've been able to detect 9 anomalies in the last 12 months around bearing lubrication, shaft failure, cracked V-belts. We've had oiler failures, end roller alignments in belts and rollers, gearbox alignment for the drive belt, and even holes in a slider pan. And we believe we saved this customer about $200,000 over the last 12 months in downtime they would have incurred. So the example down at the bottom is actually a slider pan. So the gap optimizer, which feeds one of their sortation systems, was damaged, but it happened in between preventative maintenance cycles. So it would have failed and actually torn up the belts and caused several hours of downtime had it not been caught early so they could get it resolved. And another thing to think about is making the data actionable. So there's a lot of customers who are gathering data on spreadsheets, maybe they're calling over the radio or getting emails, and someone has to take the time to combine all this data. And that can easily be $40,000 a year just in the labor it takes to combine the data, let alone the fact that you're not getting those real-time insights. You're probably getting data that's 4, 8, maybe even a day old. So being able to get this data real time allows you to course correct throughout the day. And then how would you get started? What would the journey look like? Well, first thing would be to get things stabilized, right? Get ahead of the things that you do not know, or maybe you're not aware of, with some kind of asset health monitoring solution like Connected Assets. Then you can transform, work with the vendor that's going to give you the tools and support you need to interpret the data. So some kind of customer success team that's helping you get insights from the data and analytics, keeping you accountable to take action. And finally, start growing, right? Fine tuning your operational behaviors and your maintenance activities using productivity KPIs you're monitoring, as well as the asset health information. And you're going to find savings. When you find those savings, reinvest those so that you can continue to build out the solution and get more tools. Now, we got a few minutes left, so I wanted to run through our connected assets demo and show you a few of the options that are available there. This is our Asset Sentinel tool. So this particular screen is actually a general manager view. So it's showing this general manager in a color-coded, easy to understand way if they're going to make their plan for the day based on the current rates that they're running. So it looks like they are. And then some key performance indicators around how doors are being cleared, how much recirculation they're having, and then tracking the balance in the building through the batch transitions and how quickly they're turning over batches at the main merge point. And then you can dive into the sortation monitor and get real-time throughput statistics for the system, as well as some critical key performance indicators like the scanner error rate and some hidden things like gap errors and tracking errors that tend to cause double-digit issues before they're noticed by an operator. So we can alert you right away when things appear to be trending in the wrong direction. Give you visibility into what's robbing you of cartons per minute through the throat of the sortation system. So aborts, bag gaps, no reads are actually costing you several cartons per minute every minute of the day because of the first pass yield issues there. And then repetitive issues. A lot of our customers struggle with repetitive issues. They don't know something's going on until an operator alerts them, and there's not a great historical system to help them do any kind of research. So this brings right to the forefront, in this example, jams and where they're occurring and how frequently they're occurring. A customer is able to use this to figure out they had an incorrect gearbox installed on an after sort lane. And then seeing the balance of the building. So being able to look at a screen quickly and determine if the picking operation is bringing product up to the main merge and sortation system at the same time. And you can also have a very high-level overview of assets. So in this particular screen, these are assets across 2 facilities, and they go from a cool blue to a hot red, based on the severity of the issues with these assets. So this can help you, better determine your maintenance planning. And you can flow through a fault tree as well and start to chase through where issues might be occurring and see when the last time it was that they occurred. We're using machine learning with a rich data model to help you understand motor health. So we're taking into account temperature and vibration, the speed of the motor as an example. And on the top right, you can see we've got an anomaly detection model. And what that does is it helps you find whether there's an issue quickly, but it also prevents you from having thousands of false alarms based on just a regular raw limit that might be set. And then you can use the Insight tool to actually trend any kind of data that's being monitored by the system. So you can create your own ad hoc time series charts here. You can export them to Excel for your own analysis as well. And finally, any of the dashboards that I've shown you so far, you can actually combine into your own view. And customers like to use this and put this inside of an operations center so they can see real time exactly what's happening inside the facility. With that, that's all the content I have to cover, so we can turn over whatever time we have left for questions.
Thank you, Eric. We are a couple minutes over our 15-minute slot, and I have not seen any questions come in yet. So if there are none, we can go ahead and wrap up.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Yep. Thanks for your time.